Hey guys, so today's video is really exciting because I'm going to be demoing this little guy for you. So I'm sure you guys all follow Nikkie tutorials. If you don't, you're crazy. She's amazing. I feel like I talk about her all the time, but she's definitely one of my favorite beauty channels. And she recently did a video on this really unique, interesting little guy, and I was floored. Like, I was watching that video like, I was so intrigued, and after her video went live, I had so many of my subscribers tweet me, message me, comment on my videos. A bunch of you guys were telling me, please try out the Juno sponge. Please try out the sponge Nikkie tutorials just tried. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad you guys want to see this because I wanted to review it too. It just seemed so freaking interesting. Basically, this is a microfiber velvet sponge. It's from a brand called Juno & Co. I'm gonna leave the website down below just in case you guys want to check it out. But this is literally a velvet sponge. Like, exactly, it's velvet. It feels so weird, and I cannot wait to see how this applies foundation because in Nikkie's video, it applied her foundation with so much full coverage. I mean, I know she wears full coverage already, but I was just blown away at how her face looked. It was insane. So the best part, I think, definitely is that this is only a $6 sponge. That is right. $6. So if this does everything it claims to do, that's a freaking steal. It's supposed to give you a more airbrushed, natural look. And there's actually another sponge on their website that looks very similar to it. It's this one. But right off the bat, this does not feel as soft as this one. Like, this one definitely feels a lot more squishy. This one just feels a little bit more stiff. It still has that velvet microfiber material, but it just seems a little bit more rough. The only thing I wish is that this one had like a round bottom like this, because I just prefer, I guess because I'm used to a beauty blender, I like the round bottom. I don't know how I'm gonna love this. Well, I mean, we'll see. Another thing I don't love, is this weird, but I don't like that there's like a hole, or not a hole, it's like a dot. Like right here at the bottom of my sponge. For some reason, I don't like that. Why are you there? What's up with that dot? I don't know, it's like unsettling for me. Anyway, this is my sponge completely dry. I'm gonna go ahead and wet them. Okay, so it did get significantly bigger, right? Like, my God, hair everywhere. I definitely see a difference. Like, this is, I didn't wet this one yet, and this one I feel like was much smaller than this one. This is just like so weird, you know? All right, so I just primed my face. I used my Luminizer primer from Dr. Brandt, and I figured I should be using a foundation I already really like, something I've already used 1,000 times. So I'm going to be using my Giorgio Armani Power Fabric, but I am going to be mixing it with the Luminous Silk Foundation. I feel like this combo is so nice, and I always wear the Power Fabric whenever I'm going out to like events and stuff, and adding the Luminous Silk just gives it a little bit more of a dewy finish. But the Power Fabric gives me the lasting power I want. Okay, dipping my sponge in here. Oh my gosh, this is so strange. Man, this does really feel like my sponge is completely dry. Like, I just ran it under water, and I mean, I soaked it. You guys saw me, like, I soaked it, but now my sponge just feels completely dry. But it's giving me, I mean, this already gives me full coverage, the Power Fabric, but it's not soaking up like any excess product. I feel like the product is just sitting right on this microfiber material. Like, it isn't really seeping into the sponge. It's sitting on that fuzziness and not letting it seep through. At least that's what I feel. It's so weird because I feel like my body wants to run to the sink and wet this because it just feels so dry. Man, you know what? This really doesn't soak up a lot of the product because this is the same amount of product I always use whenever I use both of them. I do a pump of each, and I feel like I'm having to turn my sponge on its side to soak up some of the product. Like if I applied too much, you know? Which is weird because I never have to do that, and I always apply my Power Fabric with a sponge. I don't like this foundation with a brush. It's a little too matte and dry for me, so I always use it with a sponge, and I do feel like the sponge will soak up more of the foundation. Suck up, that too. I'm curious to see how this sponge cleans. I'm wondering if the fuzziness will affect how it gets cleaned. I doubt it, but you know, I'm just wondering. Okay, so that is the foundation on my skin. This is $6, and I feel like it did a hell of a job. I'm gonna go in with some concealer. This is the Josie Maran Vibrancy Argan Oil Full Coverage Concealer Fluid. This is in the shade Fair. I just recently started trying this out and I really like this concealer, especially for you dry gals out there. Let's see how it blends in with this guy. Because you know what, this concealer is tricky anyway, so hopefully it blends nice. It's just so weird how this doesn't feel wet. I mean, if I squish it, will the water, yeah, if I squish it really hard, the water comes back up to the surface. Oh my gosh, now my sponge feels wet. But then that fades. Now it's back to a dry sponge. Gonna add a little bit of this concealer on my nose and on the forehead. Just gonna do a little stripe down, a little bit around here. This sponge really does give your skin an airbrushed look though. And it's definitely because of those fuzzies. I feel like, how did no one think of this before? Like, I feel like this is a genius material. Like, seriously genius. I don't know. And I also feel like it gives you the most out of your product. Like, it gives you as much coverage as you're gonna get out of a sponge, you know? Your product doesn't sink to the bottom, it just like kind of sits there and the fuzzies just help it blend into the skin. I'm gonna set my under eye concealer with this sponge. Like, I'm gonna use this sponge with my powder. I'm gonna take my Thrive Causemetics Filtered Effects Soft Focus HD powder in Translucent Matte. And I'm gonna continue to take the round part, cannot speak. And I'm just gonna set. Wow, this really is the sponge that keeps on giving, because a lot of that powder just stayed right there trapped in those fuzzies. But when you press the sponge into your skin, you're pressing the powder into your skin. It's like the fuzzies are just holding your powder there for you and just applying it where you need it, like where you push. Look at that, beautiful. Okay, so I just wet this one, and I just noticed on the website, this one is called the Microfiber Fusion Sponge. This one is the Velvet Sponge, and this is the Fusion Sponge. It's supposed to be that this is like fusing your favorite makeup tools, the beauty sponge, and the makeup brush. I'm actually gonna use this to apply some cream bronzer and blush. See if maybe I like it that way. I don't know, I bought it, so I wanna use it. I'm gonna take my Hourglass Illume Sheer Color Trio in Sunset. I love this thing. I bought it because of Samantha Ravindall. She raves about it and she was right. I'm obsessed. I love it. I'm gonna take the butt part with that awkward, uncomfortable, weird dot on the bottom, and I'm gonna dip into the bronzer. This should be interesting. Oh boy, oh boy. Like, no BS, I really do feel the little microfibers helps it just blend into the skin. And I think I'm starting to realize what they mean when they say a fusion sponge, because it's obviously a sponge, but the fuzziness helps blend in the products just like a brush would. But I mean, I would also consider this a fusion sponge as well. I don't know what the difference is between these two, but yes, you know what I mean. I'm just using this sponge because I bought it, but you can totally do this with this sponge if you're just interested in this one. Just use it on this side and apply your bronzer like that, like at an angle, and it's perfect. And now I'm just gonna dip it right into the blush. Who cares that there's a little bronzer on there? It's all good. I changed my Invisalign trace today. I'm not wearing it, obviously, but I feel like this is the most painful one I've ever done. My teeth are killing me. It had nothing to do with this video, but I thought I would update you guys. If you've been a subscriber for a long time, like, can you tell a difference? I don't know. I am gonna be applying a different highlight because I don't love the highlight in this trio, unfortunately. So I'm gonna quickly go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, so basically to finish off this video, guys, I totally recommend this sponge. I love how it applied to my makeup today. I never ever really set my under eyes with a sponge just because I feel like sometimes it'll apply too much of the powder. But with this, I really liked it. I feel like it applied so flawlessly and airbrushed, and it applied just enough powder. I love how it blended out my foundation and my concealer. I feel like it can do so many things. You could apply your bronzer, you could bake with this, I'm sure, you know? Like bake right here. Should we try it? Might as well. I am just a huge believer in sponges. I think they apply your makeup so nicely, but I'm also a big believer in not spending too much on a sponge. The Beauty Blender was the end all be all, but you do not need to spend $20 on a makeup sponge anymore. I mean, clearly. The Flower Beauty one is amazing if you're looking for a sponge that's affordable. And at the drugstore, I believe you can get it at Ulta and at Walmart, I think. Or maybe just their website. I'm not sure how it works with the sponge. But that one is even more expensive than this one. This is only $6, guys. And I really do feel like it did everything it was supposed to do. I do like this one more than this one. It just feels a lot softer. They're both the same price, but if I had to pick one, I would go with this one. I think it's a great sponge. I'm gonna leave the website down below. Like I said, definitely check this out. I'm gonna continue to use this. I think it's freaking awesome. And I do quickly wanna say thank you so much for all the suggestions you guys left me in my last video. As you guys know, I left it in the comments in that video. I feel like I've kind of hit a wall. I don't really know what else to do on my channel, and I got so many suggestions from you guys, so I just want to thank you so much. I know you guys want to see a lot more personality style videos, but I would also love to know if there's anything you want to see that's beauty related as well. What kind of beauty videos have you been dying to watch and they're just not being uploaded, or you're just not seeing them on the internet? Just let me know what kind of beauty videos you want to see as well. I saw some comments in my last video saying that you wanted me to review the Camila Cabello collection with L'Oreal, and I will definitely be doing that for you guys because I've been getting a lot of questions about it. I also just purchased the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. Let me know if you want to see a review on this. This is a matte foundation though. It says up to 24-hour matte finish, and people always seem to get upset at me for reviewing matte foundations since I have dry skin. I don't know, people don't like that I review matte foundations, so maybe I won't do it. Let me know. Do you want to see my thoughts on this? I'll do whatever you want me to do. I know it's something I've been saying for months, but it's just, I don't know what it is. It's like not coming out of me. I'm in this YouTube uploading funk and I don't know how to get out. So I'm hoping you guys can help me with that. In terms of content, at least. You know, I feel like I've been doing the same kind of videos for so long, and I feel like you guys are getting bored. So I just want to do what you guys want to see. Again, thank you so much for your suggestions. You guys are so freaking helpful. I love you so much. But that completes this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Okay, I'm doing this with one hand because I'm recording on my phone. I'm gonna try to wash this. Oh god. Okay, so I usually just like rub this. Okay. It's a lot easier when you have both hands, but you know. Gunk out of here. Okay, it was getting way too hard to do that with one hand, so I just quickly gave it a deep clean. But this did clean perfectly. Oh, I missed the spot right there. That was my bad. It looks good as new. Nice.